Hey guys, I'm John. I am the author of Legacy of a Mad Scientist and Legend of Ashley Fox, two amazing science fiction fantasy novels for you guys on Amazon, Smashwords, or here as audiobooks on YouTube. And today we are looking at Conan the Barbarian, Red Nails. I could not do another secret to you guys. I will finish that series because I do want to read it, but I don't think I'm going to do them 2 days in a row. This is 3 comics worth of material. It is actually broken up into chapters, into 17 and 20 page chapters. Here is the second one that we are not looking at today. This is Barry Smith, by the way. And we are going to look at the first chapter where Conan the Barbarian. Now this is also the last story written by Robert E. Howard, and it was serialized through June through October in Weird Tales after he had died. I say died, but after he had taken his own life, after his mom passed away. And here it is, Barry Smith, Conan, Red Nails. This is awesome. This is really good because it starts off with Valeria. Valeria, played by Sandahl Bergman in the Conan the Barbarian movie. I think that's how you say her name, Sandra Bergman. And but here she is. She's on her horse, letting her horse get a drink. I love the reflection in that top panel. Now you're going to notice that these pages are not the right dimensions. And the first time we get a properly dimension, well, here's a couple. Check this out. So they're not all wrong. These pages up here, look, here's an example. See how this page, which is the last page of this story, is the dimensions are larger? I believe this one is the proper comic book size, and this one on this size is, he did this on a different sized sheet of paper. I don't know what size sheet of paper he did, and it certainly didn't hurt the artwork. It reduced just fine. So this is the beginning. Valeria is getting her horse a drink of water. She's out in an African forest. And she's trying to find her way. She's lost. She's out in an African forest and she's trying to find her way back to civilization. She's been chased out of a city where she killed some guy, and his brother is chasing after her. Some guy tried to rape her and she killed him, and his brother's chasing after her. Conan, well, we'll get to him when we get to him. But first, let's just look at Valeria as she is exploring this forest. And she climbs up this cliff. Can't see much from the cliff, and so she climbs up to this rocky parapet where she can see there's nothing in any direction except to the south, where there's this great walled city. Now they say several times that this is extremely unusual in the African veldt because the Africans build beehive-shaped huts, and this is a walled city. This is civilized. This is the definition of civilization versus savagery. Architecture and metallurgy. That's really the definition of civilization. So here, she climbs back down, she pulls out her sword, and can see how down at the bottom she pulls out her sword, and it is Conan who has followed her, and he tells her they have this bit of exposition. This is where we hear that Valeria is on the run from having killed someone. So it wasn't just some guy, it was a Stygian officer who put his hands on Valeria, and she stabbed him, and then his brother came after her, and Conan caught up, and she says, his brother didn't come after me, he would have caught me by now. And Conan says, yeah, he would have if I hadn't caught him first. So Conan killed him, and now Conan is going to claim his prize. He literally says, we're going to get busy. Don't worry, you'll like it. He literally says that. So, I mean, it's bad behavior. But Valeria says to him, you can try, but no one's ever unarmed me. So if you try, I'm going to kill you. And then they hear, so before Conan can try, they hear their horses get attacked by something, the horses are screaming, and then the horses stop screaming because they're being eaten. They can hear the horses being eaten. And so they move down into the forest to try and find out what it was. But the wind shifts in this panel up here. Barry Smith is really packing a lot of story into every panel. The wind shifts, and they notice it, and they realize that whatever it is that's chasing them can smell them now. And the monster, the Stegosaurus in this book, smashes a dragon, they call him a dragon, smashes through the trees and attacks. This is awesome. So Valeria and Conan go climbing back up the cliff. The monster can charge up the cliff and get up some momentum and almost reach them. And there's also a skeleton up there that Valeria had found earlier, which now they realize that guy was starved out. And then they realize he wasn't starved out as much as he tried to wait out the dragon. But the apples growing in the trees nearby are poison. And if he ate those, that would have killed him. So he tried to wait out the dragon, maybe even only for an afternoon, and then ate one of those apples, a Derkata apple, they're called. And the poison killed him. Conan realizes that he can create a spear using his sword, some branches, and poison from the apples to stab into the lizard's mouth, the dragon's mouth. And it won't kill him right away, but it will make him blind. And so they climb back down the cliff to try and escape to that city that Valeria pointed out to Conan. And now even though the lizard is blind and mad, it has smelled them. So Conan realizes Valeria won't keep up, and he grabs her and tries to carry her to safety, but they're not fast enough. The monster catches them. Conan throws Valeria, pulls his sword and slashes at the monster's face. And luckily the monster stumbles into it, snaps the trunk of a tree and impales itself on the trunk of a tree, and that's what ultimately kills it. So Conan and Valeria escape. I didn't even look at who did the colors. It's Barry Smith. Let me see. So, near as I can find, Barry Smith is the only credited artist. He might have done all the colors on this. I remember his brilliant colors on the first few Conan issues where he did the brilliant, like all the colored gemstones. He really just puts all the colors on the page at once. He really does. And this is not that, so I didn't think it was him, because he would have made this lizard very iridescent. That would be a shimmering rainbow lizard. It really would. He would have scales like jewels, or maybe they didn't have time. This is really good though. So Conan slashes the lizard, it crashes into a tree. Valeria's okay when she finally rolls to a stop. Valeria is drawn in this very sort of 1920s style. I can't say I'm really a fan of the bone structure of her face. I wouldn't have drawn her this way, but she is beautiful, and I do like the way she behaves. So, besides, she's Valeria. We have Valeria in our story. Of course, she's not the same Valeria because that would be illegal. But she's a Valeria who was killed rescuing a princess, rescuing a child, and got promoted to an angel for it. And then is capable of coming back to Earth to rescue her friends in need occasionally. So here they reach the city. And Conan, they spend the night sleeping amongst some cactuses, which are growing in the abandoned irrigation ditches where the city used to farm the surrounding countryside. And they reach the city, and in the daylight, it's crimson. It's blood red. Now, these colors are Barry Smith colors. Look at how super saturated that red is. He does not, his color theory is powerful. Especially here. Inside, the city is composed almost completely of jade, which is that really soft stone that is so often used for little trinkets and carvings and stuff. It feels like you can squeeze it and change the shape almost. And so here they are inside, and they're wandering about. And Valeria is tired. The day is catching up with her. There's a bunch of dialogue that's just exposition. They're just talking about what they're seeing and if they can find any treasure or food or what happened to these people who built this. So Valeria sits down to take a little nap, and Conan wanders off, saying he'll be back. But here's Valeria sitting down to take a little nap, and then she hears someone walking pretty far away, and she knows it wouldn't be Conan because you can't hear that fucker. He sneaks up on everyone. He's a ninja. And literally says that. It doesn't say he's a ninja, but it says she knows she couldn't have heard Conan because she never would have heard him that far away. And so she goes out and finds this balustrade and sees one of the local inhabitants, there are local inhabitants, sneaking across a wide hall. And then I think he gets out of her, she heads off somewhere else, and then this guy gets killed. She hears a scream, and she comes back, and she sees a corpse. And then she sees another guy find the corpse, and then she sees this third guy. He would have to be the third guy, right? Because someone killed the first guy. So those are two guys. Then the third guy. This third guy witnesses a glowing skeleton approach him. And Valeria sees this from overhead, too. Now, most females seeing a glowing skeleton approaching a sword-holding warrior. I think this guy has a sword. Maybe he doesn't have anything in his hands. Oh, maybe he's unarmed. But Valeria jumps over the balustrade and attacks the skeleton. She has had enough. So, yeah, they discover that it's a clown in a skeleton suit with a very special skull. He was wearing this demon skull, and the skull supposedly of some magician. And also, I've been looking at this awesome back cover that you guys haven't been getting to see, or this awesome front cover that you guys haven't been getting to see, and they're not the same. They are not the same. Yeah, the front one has some text on it, but the back one, he's in a different pose. He's actually somewhere else. And so here we go. This is what's going on. Valeria has killed this guy dressed as a skeleton in some glowing paint. And then she proceeds to smash this guy who's with her, gives her some exposition, tells her what's what, and she's looking down at this skull on the ground, right? The magician's skull is lying on the ground right here. You guys can see that. That's the skull that she knocked off this guy's head. And so that the savage of Oakley or Ixley, it's some like Aztec sounding name. Remember, Robert E. Howard grew up in Texas, so there had to be a lot of Mexican influence in his life. And a lot of the bad guys in these books have sort of Mexican names, and Zotli is sort of a Mexican name. And so this skull, and this is Barry Smith's colors. That's Barry Smith at work on the colors right there. And the skull entrances Valeria, and she smashes it with her sword, which is fucking awesome. That's what I would have had her do. I have my character, Ashley, kill an 8,000-year-old talking scorpion just because she kills it with her shoe. All these other guys are amazed, and they want to, they're all under its spell, and Ashley is just a teenager, and she kills it. So that's what you do. That's what you do. You don't put it in a box and save it to study it and use it later. You destroy it. And she is, so this guy wants her to come with him and to meet the villagers of his tribe who are at the west gate. The skeleton guy is from the east gate. And she's like, I'm not going anywhere until I find Conan. He says, Conan's already dead, believe it. Not really, it's not what he says, but he says, Conan's already dead. Your friend is already dead. And so she refuses to go with him, but then it looks like she does walk off with him in the end. They're not going far. They're going to find Conan. And then this is the next page is the next chapter. So that's where we're leaving it for today. This is Robert E. Howard's last story, Red Nails. I have a really nice hardcover version of this. The, what's it called, dust jacket had the artwork, but the hardcover is just, brown. It doesn't have any print. Gold text. But that's it. So, what is our conflicted cards for today? This one says, which 2 conspiracy theories do you believe in and why? I suppose I could, does Atlantis count as a conspiracy theory? I believe that the Earth saw previous civilizations, which probably got up to our current level of technological expertise. Maybe better, maybe a little worse. I did see something really interesting yesterday, that Russia has some 70 height of the technology steam-powered locomotives submerged in oil. Russia or China? I think Russia. Russia has 77 or 73 steam locomotives submerged in oil in case of an EMP, and they can immediately have vehicles working on the train tracks again. That's super cool. So, is Atlantis a conspiracy theory? I think the religions of today are cargo cults of the old religions. The Jews especially are the most traitorous, treasonous, tyrannical people on the planet. They need to be utterly destroyed. Their culture needs to be utterly eradicated from the face of the earth. The people can live. They just either need to become Christians or atheists or something else. We need to get rid of Judaism altogether. That's my theory. Other conspiracy, I'm starting to jump into what I would do if I was king. Other conspiracy theories I believe in, well, that leads me right to the big one, the Kalergi plan. The Jews are using uncivilized people to destroy the civilization of people they want to rule over. And that's enough for today on conspiracy theories. So we're going to leave conflicted there. I am out here. I wrote 3 chapters last night, 2,000 words. I got more drawing done. I'm doing really good. I am doing really good. I think everyone could always be making more money, but I'm really happy. Creatively, I am fulfilled. And no one can take this away from me. I suppose I could lose my job. I could lose my job working for Disney or Marvel or DC, but no one can take this from me. And as soon as I can figure out how to make money with this, no one can ever fire me again. That's my goal. That's what I want out of life. I want to be unfireable. And we have a comic book for you guys in the description. Ashley Fox, Ninja Babysitter. This is the last Valkyrie where Ashley meets Valeria. A different Valeria, because that would be illegal. But Ashley meets Valeria, and Ashley gets killed rescuing this baby from some Satanists. And Valeria sees her, and promotes her to the Order of the Valkyrie after she gets killed. So that's the story I'm working on. It's a lot of fun. Right now, Valeria and Ashley are back in the modern era on a time-traveling adventure. So, yeah, I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am. I saw that there's a lot of drama going on in the world. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it here. I know that there's lots of other places that you guys can go to see that. You can go watch Salty Cracker. You can go check out Goyim TV. Check out justicereport.news. Check out therightstuff.biz. Again, thank you, Michael Sarion, the patron of this channel. Michael Sarion is the patron saint of this channel because I'm getting all my traffic through people who come here looking for him. So check out unslaved.com. I will be back tomorrow with more for you guys. In the meantime, check out ashleyfox.ninja for all our audiobooks and comics and video game videos. We're developing a video game. So, all right, see you guys tomorrow.